John, a pretty gritty workmanlike effort tonight. How do you describe the performance?
Who was that talking, Andrew? Yeah, it was. I mean, it was good to win. I mean, we got off to a good start in the first quarter, so 5-3 to 1-1 in the first quarter. I thought our pressure was pretty good in the first quarter. We kept our uncontested marks down, which we wanted to do going into the game. And conditions were pretty tough. It was pretty windy and swirly, and yeah, so it was about getting the result, and we persisted long enough to do that.
Pretty happy with the defensive effort, particularly
Yeah. I mean, those blokes, whether it be Carlisle, certainly has been in super form, and Ryder being up there a bit more often with Bell Chambers coming back in the team meant that there was a challenge for our taller defenders in particular, but I thought the whole back six, and they covered pretty well, and they got a bit more supportive out of our midfield group and forward group this week than what we did last week in that area, so that was able to take a little bit of pressure off defensively, and they weren't coming in as cleanly as what it did last week.
What about Buddy? What's the deal with Buddy?
He's got that bit of tendinitis that we expect him to play. I spoke to him this morning, and I didn't. Yesterday, fully expecting him to play. Today he was still sore, so he thought it was better off not to play because he was concerned about getting through the game. So it's been really good. His tendinitis up until this point, so it just flared up a little bit from last week. So hoping he should be right next week.
From the game last week?
Yeah, I mean, even immediately afterwards, it was okay. After the game, it was just a bit sore when he went to train on Wednesday, and couldn't do all of training. But even then, normally it pulls up okay the next day. But it was just a bit sore again this morning. And he's a pretty good judge of when he can play and when he can't. He's been able to play with a sore knee and contribute really well during the course of the year. So when he said this morning it was too sore to play, he knew that was the case, and we moved on and got Timmy Membry.
So it's still too early to know for next week?
Look, at this stage he should be right, but we expect him to play tonight too.
How pleasing is it that you can manufacture a winning score despite the fact we're missing him? Kurt was pretty well held. Sam seemed to have an issue at some stage there, so he didn't get a huge amount of the key forwards. That Goodsy obviously contributed well. Yeah,
we had 8 goal kickers I think today, so they contributed to the goal. So that's just sometimes you just got to find a way, and that's what you need to do, and we were able to find a way. So it's important that we were able to do that, and everyone chipped in when they had their turn, and a couple of blokes bobbed up and kicked goals, but so that's the key when you haven't got the personnel up there.
What about the risk game tonight, John?
I thought he started pretty well. His first quarter was really good. I spoke to him this morning and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I've just picked up Mum and Dad from the airport." And I said, "That's good because you're playing your first game." And he was an Essendon supporter as a kid, so he was. Dustin Fletcher went to him at the first bounce, and I don't know if he went to shake his hand or sit down and worship him, but it's always good to tell a kid he's got his first game, and he's been doing a lot right in our reserves.
Benny McLean, just his importance to what he brings to the team.
Yeah, he does. He gives you real energy, and whether that's in the midfield, his pressure in particular. But I thought he was actually quite good up forward for us as well. He sort of went back there, and particularly late, was good at ground level for us in our front half, which was important.
You seem to, when Essendon surged at you as you'd expect, you seem to absorb their threat, and that happened sort of 2 or 3 times throughout the match.
Yeah, I thought we answered that pretty well. They were always going to come at different times, and they started to do a few things which worked for them, and then we were able to arrest that and get it back on our terms, and that's always the leaders are always contributing to that, to be able to win the next contest or lay the next tackle, and I think our tackling was a little bit more effective than what it was last week, which is important when you're trying to change momentum with the opposition have got.
Was Jets okay?
Yeah, he's all right. He's just got a bit of a corky, I think, on his glute. I think it's a bit sore.
But just the spread and the run that Harry and particularly Gary's coming in some form as well? Yeah,
we thought our run and spread was good. We were able to get out, and certainly the uncontested footy part of it in the first part of the game was of a really high standard. So that was good to see. We just got some speed there, the combination of speed and smarts, and we were able to get out on the break a few times.
I'm not sure if you heard, there's a little bit of criticism of a couple of your players from last weekend. I mean, were the players sort of stung a little bit or from last week's game?
Was Was he? I don't know.
Yeah, there was Kennedy copped a little bit. I think Buddy, obviously didn't play tonight, but a couple of guys copped a little bit. But I guess it's your first loss in a long time. But either way, you're confident they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, I mean they're a pretty good group, and we lost our first game for 13 weeks. So fair enough. Get some criticism.
And really, any chance of coming back next week, John?
Yes, he's a real chance. He trained today and trained really well. He'll train again Sunday. He was 95% today, running and skills, and looked good. He'll do even more on Sunday and have a full week of training next week. So at this stage, he'd be a chance. There's no certainty, obviously, until we see what happens during the week with the training, the tackling, the pressure drills and that. But he's been doing a lot of work and he's coming along pretty well at the moment. So he's a chance next week.
Did Sammy Reid pull up okay? He took a bit of a knock there in the first time.
Yeah, he's okay. A little bit sore in the hip, but he had it worked on at half time and then was okay immediately after the half time break, and then it was a bit sore again the last quarter. So that's probably all I know. He's just a little bit sore in the hips. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.